So we are back. I'm sorry about that, guys. I don't know what happened. Rito, please. Well, we are back in the game. Looks like not too much has happened. You guys will be catching up to us. Hopefully you guys refresh your browser and realize we're back live. A little bit of a team fight going in the bottom lane, but nothing too exciting yet.
Alright, well let me know which time you're at and we'll see if we're synced up again.
I'm at 15:05. How about you?
15:05, huh? Well that's awfully interesting. I am just now hitting 15.
Just
so,
now? Okay.
Yeah.
I think we're good.
Alright, well Mega Inferno Bomb behind the turret there. Turret's going to fall, and I'll give you a timer here right now. So, hopefully we're pretty close on that one. But either way, second and third turrets falling down in the meantime. While we were waiting, you guys didn't miss anything except 2 turrets falling down. So it's 3-2 in turrets right now, but still the same about 1,000 gold difference that we had before the break.
Alright, my client just jumped ahead again. I'm sorry, dude. I'm at 16:10 now.
16:10? Well, that's an awfully interesting place to be. I will attempt to be there as quickly as possible. Do bear with us, guys. It is somewhat of a struggle. Why don't you count me down and I'll see where we are at.
27, 28, 29.
Alright,
30.
well...
So,
Alright, looks like we're good.
Okay.
We're back.
Okay. Hopefully no more issues.
Hopefully. Trying to get things synced up and everything back in there. Rito moves. The issues are a little bit rough, but bear with us, guys, because the games are still, like, it's difficult to theorize in a non-linear way. Like, imagine shoutcasting a game where you had to talk about, like, 30 minutes in, and then go back to shoutcasting for, like, the 10-minute mark, and then kind of jump back and forth. Like, non-linear shoutcasting is probably something that, like, guys like Guillermo del Toro would be great at, but... He is unfortunately not a shoutcaster, so you have to live with us, which is probably good, because I wouldn't want to be a director either. But Dragon is coming back up in 15 seconds, and that means that we have another big opportunity to fight. With the way that Ziggs has been working, though, Kills has been kind of living up to his name. Even though he only has one of them, he is doing some work with those Mega Inferno Bombs.
So hopefully this can be kind of the reset for us. This will be the thing to set the tone of the game again. As the Dragon does respawn, we've got UO, the one starting it off, and it looks like Sacramento is actually pushing up the mid lane right now.
Yeah, Sacramento made a very bold move. They just said, hey, Dragons respawn, turrets do not. They'll take down that middle turret and most likely have a fight here. We got Maokai way up in the front, but the culling is going to push him back away. So taking the turret for free, and they can just re-engage right up the mid lane. I'm not sure why Oregon's so scared right now. They are going to give up a lot of turrets.
Kill's doing amazingly. Putting down that minefield, slowing them out, putting down the damage, making sure that they realize they can't commit that way without taking a ton of damage, a ton of poke, and it looks like they're going to be able to secure that inner tower.
Flash in, snare, stun, lands onto Kills, but can't kill him off there. He's out of mana, so he will be a little bit vulnerable, but chasing down the mid lane. As long as they rush this might be a fair opportunity, but I don't think so, because, I mean, CSUS really didn't take any casualties off of that. They just pushed right up the mid lane, took down 2 turrets.
Yep, they had perfect disengage off that, used the Morgana ult. The hook coming out, but the black shields there.
Alright. We saw a couple black shields in the early lane phase be a little bit late, so well, may not have been a believer then, but little Yef he's a believer now. Nice one coming in there from Glycerin, and now just the wave clear. The poke too good to let that push continue from UO.
Yeah, it's really hard to understate the impressive play these supports have been pulling out today. It's not something usually seen that the MVPs of both teams are the supports, so it's really exciting to start off this series in such a bloodthirsty way.
Blue buff transferred in there. Big Mega Inferno Bombs, only there to clear creeps, but it does keep him off that turret just a little bit longer. Hazed won't be able to push that one down, and immediately, as soon as Ziggs uses that, you can see the collapse come in from Oregon. They're like, alright, Mega Inferno Bomb's down. Wave clear is not going to be quite as strong, and if we just pile on down bottom lane, there's a lot of potential down there. So, need to bring it back in turret. UO lost 2 big ones there in the mid lane, so we'll be bringing it back by shoving down bottom. Big 5-man squad down there, so this Tsunari is going to be forced to TP. He's going to come in there onto the ward by double golems and an immediate stun.
Yeah, you're totally right. UO's map movements are really nice. They know exactly where to go at exactly the right time. They're really good at capitalizing on the lack of summoner spells. Even though Sacramento State has quite a bit of wave clear, the way that they're rotating around the map and catching them out of position, catching them with their pants around their ankles actually is really impressive to see. And even though the game is tied up at that 30k mark, we can't forget that UO does have the Tristana. They do have that super late game power, right? Even though the Maokai doesn't have his full items in, as soon as he gets that Glacial Shroud, he'll be able to get right in the middle of Sacramento State, and honestly, a great item pickup from him. That Glacial Shroud slowing down the Gnar auto attack speed, even the Ziggs passive, the Lucian, and the Kha'Zix, all of them are pretty reliant on their auto attack, so really good.
Well, it won't really be doing that until it's fully upgraded, so for the time being, it's all good. But once it becomes that Frozen Heart, yeah, that's going to be a big, big aura. And you should actually see him go for... I always love it when Maokais get the Locket of the Iron Solari too, because it's another big area effect damage reduction spell. But this time it looks like it's coming in on Lil Yef, and that's a great way of utilizing that early kill gold and those 2 assists to put a big item on a support, which is not something you traditionally see.
Yep, you're absolutely right. Looks like we're seeing a little bit of engage coming. Nothing landing, unfortunately, though. But it looks like the vision control coming out of UO is pretty spectacular right now. They've had their presence all the way down into Sacramento State, into their side of the jungle. So you can see they have 2 2 vision wards coming out of their blue side control, and look at all of the vision they have around that Baron as well. So if they see any sort of misplay coming
Teleport behind, though, the engage way in there. The Thirst not spinning on anything. He's being forced out. Blister has been forced to flash out. Look at this there. It's ultimated just enough to set up the pop there. Firepower's actually going to jump in on Itsunari. He's forced to run away, but he's not going to be able to run away from Firepower. It's just going to lock him down. Turns into Mega Gnar, though. That might actually be able to turn this one around. Firepower is going to have his jump up here in just about 5 seconds. Gets slammed into the wall there. The Gnar ultimate coming in. I was about to say Gnar, but that's the name of his skill, and the champion turns around for the 2-man stun. Can't jump over the wall away from Maokai, though. The twisted advance takes him down.
That was an interesting little fight there between Firepower and Isunari there. I wonder how it would actually go if it was a legitimate 1v1, because Gnar has a lot of power that he spikes and drops his power as soon as he turns into his ultimate. Obviously, he gets a huge spike, and then over time it starts to fall. But it's interesting to say. I haven't seen him play that much of like a backline diver yet. I'm not sure how much pressure he can bring onto that Tristana, because you saw the way he was able to deal with him so easily, and if the Kha'Zix isn't able to get up to that point either, he's so squishy at this point, Tristana might actually just continue to scale and eventually get completely out of control.
Yeah, this is actually really interesting to see. Itsunari's built the double offensive item, but then immediately transitioned into a Rando and Zoman. And I think this is the optimal way to play Gnar. It's kind of iffy, because on guys like Nidalee, who's similar to Gnar in a lot of ways, you see more of a straight up offensive build with like Trinity Force, Bloodthirsters, Frozen Mallets, like big offensive items like that. But with Gnar, you actually transform into a big melee and can't get back out of it, so you really need to build a lot tankier. I think it's a good build, but it's maybe just not the right champion. I mean, they could have had something like a Rise in this situation, or a bigger Initiate. It's a rough time to be Gnar, but Itsunari definitely living up to it, because it's got it in his name.
So as we move in towards the Baron phase, we see both teams sitting at that 36k gold mark at 25 minutes in. That's pretty impressive to be that close. Doesn't happen very often. We see a lot of bases coming out of Sacramento State, which will allow UO to move on up and take back some control in their jungle, clearing out those wards, obviously, the BC. Who do you think would have the actual advantage in a full-out team fight? We've seen some interesting engagements at this point. We've seen teleports from behind. We've seen some good sieges into dives, but I don't think we've seen like a Baron scrap yet.
Yeah, Hazed is, well, Hazed and the Thirst are the reason that it's going to be a team fight that you want to pick if you're University of Oregon. But Sacramento, I think they're more just based around a mobility team comp, with the exception of Ziggs and Morgana, who are both pretty immobile. But they both have mobility options, or rather anti-mobility options too when you talk about Morgana. So what they're going to try to do is use all of their poke for Sacramento, just walk up, poke things down, and then try to back off and disengage, prevent themselves from really doing what Oregon's team comp wants to do, and that is get the big bruisers on the back line, which is something that Hayes actually did a great job, like you mentioned there with that flank earlier. That was a big teleport that really helped them win that fight.
Yep, you're right. It is basically just the battle of two poke teams. We can't even forget that Riz does have great disengage on his W as well, so see who can land their abilities. I think that's the name of the game at this point.
Tsunari is about to transform, so he won't have the range to poke. He's also down about half HP, and Spectator data is unavailable.
Oh my god. Is this real life?
Well, I'm going to reload, and hopefully I can see some real life on the other side, but at least for the time being, got a little bit of a struggle to go through.
Ugh, it's like, you remember that game way back in Season 2 when we had, I think it was World Elite and CLG EU, and Demon was like, hit the tower! Hit the tower! And the game crashes as soon as the team fight starts. I feel like that's kind of how he must have felt right about now.
Alright, well, I'm back in the game. Not moving, but I'm back here.
Me too, exactly. Not moving, but back in the game.
Alright, well, I think this is awfully nice scenery. I can see like shadows of Ziggs bombs that aren't actually there. Whoa! And stuff's starting to happen, but I have no idea.
I just had a bunch of explosions and I have no idea what happened.
Yeah, I was like, alright, what's going on? The servers are having some small issues. What is ironic is that you don't get this kind of lag when you actually play the game. It's just when you try to watch it, so we'll see. Hopefully it catches up. I'm actually gonna skip around a little bit, try to find something, see what's good. I can get back and watch it from an earlier time, so that might also be an option while it's buffering.
Where are you at? Because I'm actually working at 2640 right now. If you can get
There we go. All right, we're back in it.
Perfect.
Yeah, it's synced up for me too. I think I might be 1 second behind, but it's good. I'm not gonna touch it.
Yep.
I am not gonna be the guy that has to pay for something just because I touched it and it broke. So
We will make do.
I remember back when I was a little kid, I walked into I forget what it was. It was something like really expensive, like Jared's in the mall. And I was just like, hey, doesn't this look super cool? I turned around to my mom with like this thing in my head, dropped it on the floor, and she's like, that's a bad idea. So I was a rich kid there for a second.
That's when you look the other way, walk away, and pretend nothing happened.
I mean, I pieced the scene. I was out of there, but it appears as if the servers are also out of there.
Yep. They're looking the other way right now.
Not in Spectator Town. We have relocated to Lag City, that is a couple miles away. It's not the good side of the tracks. So once again, I can rewind it a little bit, and that helps me catch up maybe a little.
I can rewind to before where we actually started casting from last time. So
I'm at like 27:15 or whatever.
Oh, I'm with you now. Okay, we're good. We're good.
All right, 21, 22.
I'm a couple seconds behind, but we'll make it.
All right, we're good. I'll cast 2 seconds behind and see if my brain can buffer the info. Now that's a challenge right there. But oh my goodness, wow, that's so hard to do.
We're casting in like higher gravity. It's like Dragon Ball Z. I swear.
All right, well, let me slow this down. 1, 2, there we go. All right, it should be synced up right now for the time being, assuming that the servers stay with us. And we haven't even gotten a chance to talk about like the schools or the actual gameplay. It's just been like trying to desperately stay in here. So the fact that you're seeing any game at all is the real. I'm done.
Oh man, I was gonna say you can't say that we're not bringing you a unique experience right now. I definitely don't think this happens very often. Oh, Rito.
This is one way to spend an evening. I do want to thank everybody for coming out and watching. Certainly appreciate that. We are attempting to get back in to the game as soon as humanly possible.
I think I have to log back in. No, okay, we're good.
What? That would be pretty next level. All right, I'm watching a little bit of something. Once again, this is a somewhat non-linear. If you've ever seen like the movie Kill Bill, this is kind of what it's like. Where you realize towards the end of the movie that you've already seen the end of the movie. You just didn't realize it was the end of the movie because it was at the beginning. You're just like, what is happening? It's kind of what this game is like. We're all over everywhere.
We're gonna log back in, and one team's gonna have Baron pushing down the Nexus turrets.
And you're just like, well, that happened. Would have been cool to see it, but... Interestingly enough, I've casted no fewer than 3 international tournaments this month, and none of them have had this issue, so... Not sure what it is about, other regions, but apparently good old NA still feeling hashtag the struggle.
Yep, this is quite the experience. I'm still loading in. Are you anywhere yet?
Yeah, I'm actually watching the game. It's pretty cool. I got tons of cool stuff to say about it, but I don't know where you're gonna load in, so I don't want to spoil anything.
All right,
apparently I just did with Kill Bill. But I didn't even say what happened. You don't even know. Like, you still have no idea. You still watch the movie. It's good anyway.
So I'm coming up at 28:25.
All right, you are somewhat in advance of me. Whoa! All right, I assume that you're at like 28:35 right now.
Yep.
Cool, well, we just saw the Mega Inferno Bomb come out. Itsunari is down to about 300. All right, take that back, 500 HP, so he's gonna be forced back to base. Does have his teleport available, so he can take all that punishment and head right back to the team fight after coming back, and that's exactly what he's gonna do. He actually should have TP to the minion to make it invulnerable underneath the turret, but it's all good. The minion wave's gonna be there in time to take down the 6th, turret of the game here for Sacramento. They'll have taken down all outer turrets with the exception of that bottom lane.
Firepower did fall in there somewhere. There's just a lot of explosions that I see that going on, but that obviously does open up the opportunity for a Baron coming out from Sacramento State, so... Sorry, not Sacramento State, CSUS.
Well, yeah, the other Sacramento. But Baron Nashor will go down. The Death Sentence actually does land through there, but Alex is going to be able to leap his way right on out of there, and this game's so back and forth. We've seen huge swings where like Hayes would teleport behind the team, go for a great flank, and pick everybody off. That was great. It gave them the kill lead, or gave Oregon the kill lead, but with that big decision to not Dragon, but rather to push right down mid, you see that turrets are actually what's making a bigger difference here, putting Sacramento in the lead.
Yeah, the only thing is it does give Tristana a little bit of an opportunity to farm up even more off of those super minions. She does have really good minion clear, obviously, with her passive and that shift, so this is kind of what they need if they do want to rely on that firepower hypercarry. So we'll see if they are able to kind of slow the bleed and keep this game in their favor. The gold lead isn't too drastic yet. A lot of objectives are being picked up by the blue team, but like we said, nothing too drastic. We'll see if that Baron does kind of tip the scales a little bit, but I wouldn't be surprised if UO is able to hold it.
Baron, Dragon, and Blue Buff put Sacramento ahead about 3,000 gold at this point. It's about 4,000 till alive. My addition math, unfortunately, the degree I got in school not helping me when it comes to basic addition. But when you look at the way that the game has swung, it's a very I don't want to say like the advantages that Oregon have are in the kill count. You have 3-0 on your top laner. You've got deathless mid lane performance from Hangdong, but it's nowhere close to the ambient gold that the 2 dragons, the 3 turret advantage that's California State University of Sacramento have for themselves. They got this Baron buff for another 2 minutes. Looks like that is going to be used to push down this bottom lane. Firepower is going to have to stay a lot safer than that. He was in Danger Town there for a second.
This is absolutely where you see... Oh, the hook landing on the Sig kills this safe, though, from that Black Shield. This is where you see if teams have had enough time playing together, if they've matured, if they know how to close out games, if they know how to move around the map in the proper order to really close the game out.
Megan. Inferno Bomb behind the turret just to zone things off. It didn't even matter if it hit anything. It's just an ult for a turret. So all outer turrets now down, and take a look at that mid lane. There's a lot more down there, so might be a push in there for the inhibitor. Quick leap over the wall for Tsunari.
Yep, UO has an opportunity to make a play here. They do see, well, they do not see Glycerin and Reynold going back, but they do know that that top wave is pushing. There aren't that many objectives up, but it will allow them to get some control back of their jungle, which is exactly what they need. That red buff on Tristana, a couple vision wards just to make sure they know when they're safe, when they're not, and a little bit of breathing room. That's all they can ask for right now.
All right, well, here we go. It's 32 minutes into the game, and like you said, the scaling is what's kind of the saving grace that Oregon has to desperately look forward to. It's the silver lining in the cloud that this game is rapidly becoming for them. They're losing all out of their outer turrets. They're starting to lose their base. They have only that one inhibitor up defending their middle lane. I'm going to take a little bit of a break here.
Yep.
While we load back in. But
walk around, go get a drink.
I'd love to re-spectate the game, but unfortunately, it's actually over.
Well, no. Well, no.
Well, now, indeed.
Well, pleasure casting with you.
Yeah.
Let's try and figure out what happened there, though. We do see that UO was the losing team there. They didn't get that back pocket Tristana to save the game for them. So, I guess we were behind a couple minutes too, right? So the game went to 38 minutes. I guess we're about 6 minutes behind. It's hard to say. It looks like it was just because I know Hazel didn't have any deaths. So I guess it was just a team fight that went poorly. It's hard to say.
I think the real devastating thing to take away from this game is that apparently I've been pronouncing Oregon wrong my entire life. This is like a big shocking reality to me, but it's convicting. I didn't realize that, but it is actually the blue team that does win. So congratulations to California State University, Sacramento. They'll be the ones that have taken this game down somewhat anticlimactically, but you still got to give them credit. They brought out the Gnar. The champion I haven't seen played competitively or professionally or anything, well, forever since it's been out. So first victory that I've seen, and it was actually a very close game down to the wire from the looks of things. 13-10 is the finish. But that big push down the mid lane that they made while University of Oregon was getting the Dragon, actually pretty costly for them towards the end. Just lost too much pressure. And then we're able to, we're just got kind of out-rotated there, to use the cliched phrase. But
yeah. I think that the next time we see both of these teams, we're going to be impressed by the way that they play. Unfortunately, we weren't able to, see how the story totally unfolded, but there was a lot of really good team play coming out of both teams from what we did see. A lot of really great support plays as well, which I'm always happy to see.
Yeah.
But especially that rotation, like we said, it sucks to use that term, but it is perfect to use here. Forcing down the middle lane and picking up that tower when UO was stuck at Dragon was impressive, to say the least.
Oregon. I can't even do it. This is way too difficult, guys. The struggle. All right, well, my assignment's going to be to write and pronounce that 100 times in a row. I'm going to go do my homework, and speaking of homework, hope you guys are, I guess, staying in school. It's what this entire tournament's based on. It's a collegiate competition for schools across the United States and Canada, and it's super awesome to be a part of this. Hopefully, you guys have enjoyed being a part of it tonight. I know there have been a lot of server issues, client issues, broadcast issues, but it's the first day of a brand new season. So give us some time to work things out. We do hope to see you back again tomorrow. Once again, this is the NLCS here on NCS. But if you'd like to find out more information about this tournament, about collegiate esports in general, you can find us on Facebook and Twitter at NCESPA, NCESPA. It's National Collegiate Esports Association. Or just head over to NCESPA.com, where you can find out more information about this the League of Legends Collegiate League or CSGO Collegiate League, prize pool information, teams, It's all going to be right there. So that's going to do it for our broadcast tonight. Once again, congratulations to California State University at Sacramento for picking up their win tonight versus University of Oregon. Oregon. Oh my goodness. All right. Well, I'm going to go take myself to pronunciation school. Once again, a big shout out to Muskie Bad for co-commentating this with me and streaming it. It was a little bit rough to start out with, but you know what? We finished things and pretty happy with everything. So that's going to do it for tonight's games. Thank you so much for watching. Once again, follow us on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and all those social media right down below the screen, and we'll see you guys tomorrow.